Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to make a little cute card here, as it is Valentine's Day. Thought this would be a nice little set to use just to show someone that you care about them. So this is the sample card on Nuts About You, and it features the nuts and bolts cling mount stamp set, which is in the mini catalogue, the January to June mini catalogue. So I've got a couple of really cute little robots in there and some nice companion sentiments too, and say not necessarily for Valentine's, but they are super cute, aren't they? So obviously I use this little guy. He looks like he's got a little flower, which is a little cog, which I think is totally sweet. Really useful little stamp there to put under their feet, so they look like they're grounded as well. So that's the stamp set that we're using. Colour wise, so we are colouring with Stampin' Blends. I love Stampin' Blends. The actual robot itself is Night of Navy and Balmy Blue. Layering all with Night of Navy, and then I've brought in some Pool Party around the edge. The little flower there I did with Occasion Craze and Calypso Coral, just sort of looking for that rusty sort of look. Okay, so that's it. Nice simple layering. So we're going to switch up and go for something a little bit more traditional, go with the greys, because I want to use some pink on the heart, because we're going to use the guy with the heart in his holding the heart. Okay, so I already cut some layers. There's a white card base. I'm going to go with basic grey for the layering. Okay, don't have basic grey in the Stampin' Blends, but I thought it would just keep it all toned. This is 5 by 3 1/4, and then I've got a layer to go over the top of that, which is just an eighth of an inch even, smaller and narrower. Okay, so that's that. But what we do need is just a scrap of card to stamp and colour our. Now I just want to make sure that this is going to fit on there. Yes, it is. It's good. Just didn't want to stamp it and then colour it and realise I couldn't die cut it, because we're going to die cut it with the layering circles. Lovely set of dies. I keep mine in a stamp case with some magnetic sheeting, so I can just get them to hand. And you've got the sort of straight edge, and then you've got the coordinating scallop edge as well. So if you go for the second to largest here and second largest there, they're going to layer together to give you that small sort of bumpy scallop around the edge. So I'm just going to leave those out for a minute, because we're stamping with blends. Sorry, we're colouring with blends, I beg your pardon, which are alcohol based markers. We want to stamp with a water based ink, and that would be our Memento, Tuxedo Black Memento. So we'll just press him down there, just so the die's got plenty of room to get around him. Just holding that down, making sure that ink transfers, lift straight up and out, and then we have our lovely image there. Isn't he adorable? Oh, whoopsie daisy, that's alive. So we'll just pop away our Memento there, and that's just going to take just a moment or two to dry completely. So while that's happening, I'm just going to pull out some markers. I'm actually going to bring out the light basic black, which is going to be my shading there. And then I've got the smoky slate dark and light markers to go with that. Just a bit of a tip here is, just like I've done here, this was my testing for my other robot there. And I just used a scrap of paper just to, just try out the markers and make sure that the alcohol was flowing nicely. And trying out the colours ahead of time if you're combining different colours, like I'm combining the basic black and the smoky slate here, rather than just using the companion markers. It gives you an idea of how they're going to play. So the basic black is going to be a lot darker, so we're going to want to be sparing with that, and then use the other colours to blend out. Okay, So let's get started with that. Right, first things first then. I'm just going to bring you in slightly, I think, just so that you can see what I'm doing a little better. First things first then, I'm going to just lay down the lightest colour, light smoky slate, and I'm just going to lay that down just to get things going. Oh, I love the way his little knees are knocking, that's really cute. I might do his little bobbly bit in the pink actually as well. Okay, so we've got a bit of a base colour down. Alright, sorry that's at a funny angle, I just find it easier that way. Okay, I'm going to drop in just a touch of the dark. I'm going to put in a little bit on his little, he's kind of got like these concertinaed sort of legs, so let's just put a bit of that on there, okay, and just a hint of it along where these panels join, and maybe just on these things over his head and ears, okay, and maybe just a hint just where his mouth overlaps there. Okay, so just being quite sparing with the basic black, and then we'll go in with that dark smoky slate to add in some shades. So I'm going to blend out this bit here, and then take that round his eyes, where his eyes would be sunken in, and where those plates overlap there. Okay, so we're going to do the same. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to do his hands and feet in that dark as well, I think. Or give them some dark. There we go. That sort of brings them out from the body a little bit. That's fine. And then fill in his feet there. Okay. So yeah, just blend out the black that we've put in there over his arms, and then along this rivet line here, where things will overlap. There'll be shadow behind his hands and arms there. Oh, I've missed his neck. A little bit on his jaw. Just pop some basic black on his neck there. Then I'm going to go back with the light marker and go over that and just blend that out. And you may find that you still see a bit of the join between the colours to start off with. It just takes a bit of time for the magic to happen, so just bear with it, just give it time to do its thing and for the colour to just disperse. Okay, there we are. He's adorable, totally adorable. Okay, this little stamp at the bottom, I might bring in my smoky slate actually. I didn't pick out the ink pad, but I'm just going to pop his little ground underneath him, just there. Isn't that sweet? Nice little additional stamp to have in the set, just to give that a bit of a grounding there. And then I'm going to bring in my pink markers. Okay, so I'm going to go light melon mambo, and then bring in my flirty flamingos. Okay, so again, that's, oops, a bit of ink, alcohol just built up in there. Fortunately, it didn't go onto the design, so that's fine. It just happens when you've stored them and you haven't used them for a bit. The alcohol just sort of collects a little bit. make sure that one's okay. Yep. So again, we're going to pop some of the medium colour in there. And just a touch of the Melon Mambo. It's very, very intense colour, so I just want to go around the edge just to pink that up a little bit. Do his little doodad on his head, and then we'll just blend that back out. And my light marker just to finish that off. Just go over the whole lot again, and it will all diffuse out. Okay, so it will bleed through to the back, which is perfectly fine. That's the ink doing its job. Isn't that the sweetest thing ever? Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, really, really, really cute. Okay, so a little sort of trick to help lift him off the page is to just go around the edge with a very light marker, and I find that light pool party works really, really well. But we can also use the light soft sea foam, just as something that's really, really pale, basically. So because I'm using the grey and I use pool party on the other one, I'm gonna do this with soft sea foam. Totally optional, don't have to do it, but it just sort of brings them out from the your character out from the background a little bit. Okay, I say light pool party or this light soft sea foam are perfect for this. So all I've done there is gone round in circles with that lightest marker. Okay, and now I'm going to use the colourless blender and kind of go around the edge of that, which will help diffuse the edge. It will just sort of bleed out. My colourless blender is virtually run out now. Let's put one on my next order. So it's hard to see that the colourless blender is doing anything, even if it was well inked, which mine definitely is not. But you will just see that the card looks a little sort of grey, if you like, where it's gotten moist from the markers. Alright, so that's just a little tip there, just to help stand him out from his background. Okay, so next thing to do is to die cut him out. So we'll just use that plain what do you call that, circle. Oh dear, words failing me, and I can't work out what shape I'm using, isn't it? So we'll just use a little bit of tape, little sort of scrap of washi tape this is, that's been used a million times. Look, it's got virtually no stick to it whatsoever, but it just helps secure that die while you're running it through the die cut machine. I've got it just here on my right hand side. All the instructions are on the plates themselves on what sandwich you need to use to die cut or emboss. Okay, so there's our little dude with the with his little heart. Isn't that super sweet? Okay, and then our grey piece, I'm just going to show you how you can be super frugal with your materials, because we want to layer him onto that basic grey that I showed you at the beginning. Okay, and what I'm actually going to do is die cut it from this layering piece, because once we layer it all together you ain't going to see the hole. Okay, and that means I don't have to cut into another piece of cardstock. So we're just going to die cut that from the centre of that. No one will ever know, it's our secret. Okay, so that's a way to just stretch your cardstock. So if that was like the last piece of basic grey you had in your box, Okay, this is how you can stretch it a little bit, and that, of course, that would work with sorry, someone's just gone past on a very loud motorbike. That would work with like a punch or anything like that as well. So there's a little top tip for you. Okay, and that layers on like that. Isn't that super? I love the layering dies. I think they're really, really useful. It just takes out a lot of the thinking for you, and of course no one can cut perfect circles, so circle dies are always useful. Okay, on the other one I went round the edge a little bit with the marker, but I don't think I'm going to bother with this one. I think we're just going to layer this up with some of my favourite Stampin' Seal. Really easy to do, quick. Okay, and then he's going to be popped up on the card, so I'm going to use some mini dimensionals there, so that that's ready to pop on my card. Where did I put? Oh yeah, I put that. Where did I put my layering card? Oh yeah, it's the thing I cut the hole out of that I was telling you all about. Where's it gone? Okay, layer this together then. So just in the normal fashion, I'm just going to put a bit on the sides there. There's no point putting it in the middle there because there's nothing to stick it to because we've cut into it. Just make sure your borders are even at the bottom here, and then drop it into place on the top, and then that can go onto our white card base. I don't know why I did it like that. There you are. That's it. So again, just making sure your borders are as even as you can before you drop your card from your dominant hand. So you'll be the other way around to me. There we go. Nice simple card base. We've got our topper ready to go here, and then the last thing to do is to add the sentiment. Okay, so sentiment wise then, I'm going to bring in my pad of bridge paper. So I use this for all sorts of things. It's really useful to have in your stash. So this is I was stamping off to do a project which was featured yesterday, but I also use it to help me line up the sentiments, particularly for my cling mount stamps, because obviously you can't see through them, right? So so what I do is first time I just lay my block down and I'm lining it up with the lines on the grid paper, and then I'm going to put this on the block. Obviously it's backwards, so sometimes it's a bit hard to judge, and I think it's roughly there, which is going to be straight. I'm going to use basic grey because that's what we've layered everything with. Okay, ink it up, and then when I'm positioning my stamp, I'm going to line up the block with a line on the grid paper there, stamp it down, and if I think it's a bit of a funky font, so you can, this one's a bit more forgiving, but if you're happy with that alignment, then you're ready to go. And if you're not, you can tweak it and have another go at it. Okay, so next thing is, where's it going to land on my cardstock? So I'm just going to put my topper in place. So I've got it there, and where am I going to line up this sentiment? So I'm just eyeballing where this block's going to come on my card so that I know where it needs to be. So I need to leave about 1/8 of an inch in from the edge, re-ink the stamp, make sure it's just light tapping. I know my block needs to be about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom, just eyeballing it centrally, sort of left to right, and I'm going to put him there. Okay, which means this will sit beautifully on there. Could have used the pink, that would have been cute. There you go. The Melon Mambo might have been a nice addition for the sentiment, just to make that pop a little bit as well. Oh well, there you go. You can try that as well if you fancy making this card. Switching up the colours a little bit. I thought about using like browns and things to make him look sort of rusty as well. So like cinnamon cider, Cajun craze, calypso coral, or pumpkin pie maybe. Have we got pumpkin pie in the market? Yeah, we have, yeah. So just looking to make that equidistant from the top here and the sentiment, and then either side, left and right. And there he is, isn't he? Sweet. Love it, love it, love it. And here's my original card. Okay. Yeah, aren't they adorable? Really love it. Hope you've enjoyed that and you're going to give it a go. Okay. It's very simple colouring. It wasn't terribly complicated. You just see on here that I've put the extra bits of blending around the edges of here, so that's another element that you can add if you want to. Okay, right, I hope you've enjoyed that. Thanks for joining me today. Please do like, subscribe, share with your friends. Still trying to build up that subscriber count. I made it past 700 now, but I haven't been posting as much, and there's lots of reasons for that, but I'm hoping to try and get back into the swing of things over the next few weeks, and hopefully you'll see more of me. So take care for now, stay safe out there, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.